Today, the world of architecture has lost a titan. Frank Owen Gehry, visionary rebel and one of the most influential architects of the modern era, has passed away at the age of 96. His death, confirmed by his chief of staff, Megan Lloyd, marks the end of an extraordinary life that redefined what buildings could be. Not just structures of function, but expressions of emotion, movement, and daring imagination. Born in Toronto, Canada, in 1929 as Frank Owen Goldberg, Gehry grew up in a modest Jewish immigrant household. His parents, deeply affected by the Great Depression, instilled in him resilience, but also a yearning for something more. At just 17, he moved with his family to Los Angeles, where the sun-drenched city would become both his home and his canvas. He studied architecture at the University of Southern California, graduating in 1954. But it was his time at Harvard's Graduate School of Design in 1956 to 57, where he studied urban planning, that planted the seeds of his future rebellion. He didn't just want to design buildings, he wanted to challenge the very rules of architecture itself. In the late 1970s, Gehry shocked the architectural world, not with a museum or a skyscraper, but with his own home in Santa Monica, California. He wrapped his ordinary suburban house in chain-link fencing, corrugated metal, and raw plywood. Critics called it ugly. Gehry called it honest. "I was rebelling against everything," he later said. That home became a manifesto. Architecture didn't need marble or symmetry. It could be raw, playful, even chaotic. His early career was scrappy. He worked odd jobs, including designing shopping centers, while quietly building a reputation for bold, unconventional forms. It wasn't easy. For years, he struggled financially, supporting his young family through commissions that barely covered the bills. But he never compromised. Gehry was married twice. His first marriage to Anita Snyder gave him 2 daughters, Leslie and Brina. Later, he found enduring love with Berta Isabel Aguilera, his wife and creative anchor for over 4 decades. Together, they raised 2 sons, Alejandro and Samuel. Berta wasn't just his partner. She managed his practice with grace and discipline, allowing Frank the freedom to dream wildly while keeping the firm grounded. Everything changed in 1997. The Guggenheim Museum Bilbao opened, and the world stopped to look. Clad in shimmering titanium, its curves undulating like a metallic ship or a living organism, the museum didn't just house art, it was art. Overnight, the Bilbao effect became a phrase. A single building could revive a dying city. Tourism exploded. Bilbao was reborn, and Frank Gehry became a global icon. From Chicago's J. Pritzker Pavilion, with its trellis of steel ribbons, to Los Angeles' Walt Disney Concert Hall, a stainless steel symphony floating above downtown, Gehry's buildings defied gravity and expectation. In Paris, the Louis Vuitton Foundation rose like a glass sailboat in the Bois de Boulogne. He bestowed upon Paris and upon France his greatest masterpiece, said Bernard Arnault, CEO of LVMH. Even his smaller works stunned. Prague's Dancing House, 2 towers leaning into each other like a waltzing couple, became an instant landmark. His Hotel Marqués in Spain, wrapped in wavy, multicolored metal sheets, it looked like a child's drawing come to life. And his business school in Sydney. Critics joked it resembled a crumpled brown paper bag, but it worked with genius efficiency and whimsy. Though Bilbao made him famous, the architecture world had already recognized his genius. In 1989, at age 60, Gehry received the Pritzker Architecture Prize, the field's highest honor. The jury compared his work to jazz. Improvisational, unpredictable, full of spirit. It was the perfect metaphor. Gehry never followed blueprints, not even his own. Unlike many starchitects, Gehry remained deeply hands-on. He sketched constantly, often crumpling paper models to find organic forms. He embraced technology late but masterfully, using aerospace software to translate his chaotic visions into buildable structures. Yet he insisted his work was never about ego. "I'm just trying to make something that moves people," he once said. His contributions earned him the Order of Canada in 2002, and in 2016, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. President Obama praised him for showing us that buildings can be works of art that lift our spirits and shape our communities. Gehry never retired. Even in his 90s, he was in his Los Angeles studio almost daily, dreaming up new forms. He lived modestly, despite his fame. His home remained in Santa Monica, not a palace, but a place filled with sketches, models, and family photos. His net worth was estimated in the tens of millions, but he rarely spoke about money. For him, architecture was a calling, not a commodity. He is survived by his devoted wife, Berta Isabel Aguilera, his daughters Leslie and Brina from his first marriage, and his sons Alejandro and Samuel. His family was his sanctuary, a private world far removed from the titanium towers bearing his name. Today, over 100 Gehry-designed buildings stand across the globe, from museums and concert halls to private homes and university campuses. Each one tells a story of courage, of defiance, of beauty found in the unexpected. Frank Gehry taught us that architecture doesn't have to obey. It can dance, it can surprise, it can heal a city. In a world of straight lines and safe choices, he gave us curves that made us look up and dream. Rest in boldness, Maestro. The skyline will never forget you.